Yo, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. What is going on? It's your boy Purple Slushy here, coming back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I've only ever done one of these before, so I thought I'd do another one. Somebody asked me to do a PvP commentary on one of my YouTube posts, so I figured I'd give it a shot and try it with the Sage. If you guys like this kind of video, let me know in the comment section down below. We can make more in the future. Also, I have a guild called iFrame. If you guys are looking for a fun guild to join, we have about 4 or 5 members right now. We're starting to grow a little bit. I want to get into GVGs, Node Wars, PvP practice. Just going to be a fun guild. Not going to take anything too serious. There's not going to be any really like PvP requirement or gear requirement or anything. So if you are interested, go ahead and send me a message in Discord and I can go ahead and invite you. So let's get into the video. I had this game yesterday, and actually when I was recording the game, I was actually voicing over it, but what happened was the game sound was so much louder than my voice. So I'm gonna re-record over it, which is what I'm doing right now. And I'll try my best to try to cover all the points that I did yesterday. So the biggest thing that you wanna do on your Sage is, the first thing that you wanna do when you go in, when you're fighting, is you wanna hit the enemy with a Tor's energy. The reason being is a Tor's energy allows you to have a tier 3 add-on, and when you have a tier 3 add-on, you can have the most amount of attack and casting speed out of any other move. So the attack and casting speed that you get from a Tor's energy is 10%. So that attack and casting speed is really crucial for getting your abilities off fast. Since Sage abilities aren't really too protected, the casting part is protected, but when you release the move, it's unprotected. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of casting speed when you go in. Another thing that you can do to get more attack and casting speed before you go in is auto-attacking. Auto-attacking builds your overdrive stacks, allowing you to get massive attack and casting speed to allow your moves to go off super fast. So here, I'm kind of just reading out the battlefield and being pretty patient. Sage is one of those classes that you want to be really patient on, and you don't want to try to go in and do too much too soon. You want to be able to read your enemies. So here I go in with the Tor's energy, I get that speed boost. I go in with spatial, and I go in and I hit all 3 of those guys at once. And then after that, I try to pick off the last dude with W right mouse button. Go in with a Tor's energy one more time to finish off that guy, and then we're just gonna back off. Here, I'm just trying to get my stamina back, so I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna hold block for a couple seconds. The reason why I hold block is I want to get as much stamina as possible before I dip out, because once you're out of stam on Sage, you can't move, and I don't want to be stuck in a spot where all the enemies are around me at once and then I get killed. I end up dying because I run into an AoE, but sometimes it happens. You do want to make sure that when you are fighting the enemies in a situation like that, you always make sure you have an escape. You have a way to get out. You want to make sure that you don't go in without having a plan. So if you go in, make sure that you have like a clear path out, so that way you don't get yourself stuck. A lot of times during this RBF, you'll see me go up on these roofs, and I'm kind of just sitting here, kind of just reading out the battlefield. I go in with spatial again as I see these players here. I go in and I get the kill. This Guardian is super tanky, and then I end up getting caught. Somehow I end up getting out of this, and we just skirt along, and we're kind of just getting our stam back, getting our health back, reading out the fight, just playing it safe. So here, I see some enemies to the right. I don't think I do push them. Oh, actually I do push them here. Going with the Tor's energy. You'll notice a lot of the combos on Sage start out with the Tor's energy and go into spatial. The reason why going into spatial is so crucial is because it has 2 separate stuns on the first release and also the second release. And the cool thing about the release is, what's nice about it is you don't have to release it off the first iframe. You can release it off the second iframe, the third iframe, the fourth iframe, the fifth iframe. So it gives you that kind of like element of surprise, I would say, is you can iframe around, and then when your enemy's least expecting it, or when you get behind them, you can really catch them off surprise, and really get that nice stun, and then go into your combo. So here, building up overdrive stacks, getting that speed boost. Gonna go into spatial, try to get, you know, some stuns here. Didn't get anything, so I'm just gonna, you know, try to stay back, be a little bit patient, try to read the enemies. And it's really, really important to try to attack your enemies from the back. As you saw there, I tried to attack my enemies from the front, but that most of the time doesn't work out. Reason being is people are always watching their front side, right? They're blocking, they're doing protected moves, but when you hit them from the back, they're never expecting that. Here we go in with the Tor's energy, I get the speed boost, then I pop my E buff after I get the speed boost, and then we go in with spatial. Here we go in with spatial, but this Guardian is super, super tanky, so we're not going to do anything too risky, and we're going to try to back out, play it slow, and just read the opponents. The Ranger has a lot of points here, and I know that Rangers are super squishy, so I try to go in and try to kill him, but wasn't able to CC him, so we're going to back out a little bit. Another thing that E-buff allows you to do, for 15 seconds, it allows you to be super, super aggressive. Reason being is the first 15 seconds of your E-buff gives you super armor. So that means all your moves that aren't protected become protected. Spatial becomes protected. A Tor's Fist becomes protected. Everything becomes protected and allows you to have 15 seconds of just basically God mode, which is really, really nice. You can still get grabbed. Here, doing the same thing. We're kind of just going in, trying to get a couple stuns. If we can't get anything, we're going to just back out. We're just going to play it patient here. Gonna get our stand back. We're going to just wait. I really, really want to get this Ranger, so I don't want to be too aggressive. I'm just playing it smart. I'm going to go out when I know that I can actually get like a decent stun on him. So here, Tor's energy, get that speed buff, and then as this ninja goes to push, as he pushes me, I knew he was going to push me, so I just kept going with the flow, and then I finished him off with a right mouse button, or a W right mouse button as the execute. W right mouse button is probably like almost the best execute to use on Sage. Here we go in with the Tor's energy on the Ranger. Tried to use W right mouse button, but he backed off. But we're gonna keep pushing him. We're gonna keep pushing him every time he tries to come up. We're gonna try to go after him. We're not gonna be too aggressive while he's with his teammates back there. We're gonna let him make the first mistake. But again, W right mouse button is really, really good as an execute. The only thing that you have to worry about is it is unprotected at the end. So with that being said, it hits really hard. It hits through frontal guard because it has so many hits and the attack moves you forward. So after the first like couple hits, when you hit the frontal guard, the last few hits will actually hit the enemy because you will be behind them. So here I see a good point to go in. I go in, pop the E buff, pop spatial, don't get anything there, and then we just back out. Back out. You don't have to do anything too crazy. It's not like Sork where you're just gonna be in the enemy spawn fighting them the whole time. You can do that if you have like a teammate with you or like another Sage, but for the most part, you don't want to be too aggressive in the enemy spawn. Reason being is you don't have shards and you don't have an unlimited amount of stam like you do on Sork. So while this class can survive a really long time around enemies, once you're out of stam, that's it. That's all you got. So you don't want to just be inting into the enemies and just being like, Leroy Jenkins, and just losing all your points, you know? You kind of just want to play it safe. Here, the Sork's kind of on my ass. I try to go in with the flow. I don't get it. So I just back off a little bit, and then I get killed by the hash from behind me because I'm not paying attention to the back. So that's another thing on Sage is if you're Q blocking and you're holding it a certain way, you want to make sure that you're watching your back at all times because people will come from behind you, and you just want to make sure that you are playing it smart. Here, we're just gonna go back in. I think we go up top here again, kind of just looking for the enemy, seeing what's going on. I see that Ranger over there with a ton of points, and I really do want to kill him. And I think here's where we start to push. A Tor's energy. We get that speed boost. We go in with spatial. We get the stun with spatial. He kind of desyncs away, but we end up getting the kill. Now we've made ourselves a target. Now that we have 160 points, the enemy is going to be on our ass. So what I do here is I back up to make sure I get all my stam. As soon as you get a lot of points in RBF, know that people will be on your ass like glue. It's actually crazy. So once I get all my stand back, I'm gonna try to go in with some more attacks. Sorry for the squeaking in the background. My puppy is going wild with her toy. Going with spatial here, hit a big group of people, only able to get 1 kill, but that's all right. Team finished off the rest of it. And now we just set it back up on the roof and we're just waiting. We're just waiting for the right opportunity, the right moment to go in. Got the spatial ready. I do have my Z buff ready, but when you have your Z buff ready and your E buff is almost up, always use your Z buff with your E buff. Reason being is your Z buff gives you AP and it also gives you attack and casting speed, and a lot of it. But your E buff also gives you super armor and also AP. So not only can you get that AP and attack casting speed from your Z buff, but then you can stack the E buff super armor and attack AP with it. And you can basically go Super Saiyan God mode for 30 seconds, and then the full minute you have the Z buff. But if you have overdrive, you can double E buff, or if you have the reset, you can double E buff. Here we go in with Z buff, E buff. You see how much damage we have, and we're just gonna try to do as much damage as we can, and then we're gonna get out. So here I'm just trying to iframe around this tree so they can't hit me. A Tor's energy, go in, go back in with the spatial. We ended up getting stunned out of the spatial, so we have to go in with Z. So like I said, the spatial, when you release it, it's unprotected. So you got to make sure that you're putting yourself in the right spot. Gonna go back in with it again, and we end up putting ourselves in a really good situation here. And W right mouse button, we were able to get the kill. And then this guy's so low, we use S and E right there. Bow! Hit him with the fist from above, and now we are rolling with the points. We're gonna back out, and we're just gonna get our stand back. We're not gonna try to do anything too aggressive. We're not gonna try to int our points. We're just gonna play it smart. We're playing it well so far. That's what you want to do on Sage. You want to go into the enemy zone, you want to just put down a ton of pressure at once, and then you want to back out. That's really all there is to it. Once I start getting more gear, more AP, and more DP, I can probably stay in the enemy spawn, in the enemy zone a little bit longer. Here we go in with spatial, but I should have waited to go in with S plus E because I saw enemies coming from my left, but I was greedy there and I tried to get the kill. Like I said, when you have a lot of points, you put a big target on your head. So make sure that when you're doing your attacks, you're moving, you're going left, you're going right, and then release your moves. If I would have done that there, I would have been in a much better situation to keep my points. But, you know, you learn from your mistakes, and I'll make sure that the next time I get into a situation like that, I'll take into account of who's around me. Here I see a lot of people there, but I'm just going to try to read it out because they were all looking at me. And when you attack people, you want to attack them from the back because they're least expecting it. So here, just reading it out, waiting to see what the enemies do. I see a bunch of people down there, so Tor's energy, get that speed boost. Get the E buff. Go in, hit the spatial on them, W right mouse button, finish them off, get the double kill, and then we're out. That E buff is so crucial because it gives you that full super armor for 15 seconds. You really want to make sure when your E buff is up, those 15 seconds, that's your bread and butter. That's when you go in, that's when you do all your massive damage, and that's when you try to get those points. Because in RBF, it's all about getting those points. And if you can get a lot of points in RBF, and you can help your team win, and you get that money. So right there, get another kill with that W right mouse button because it's just so good as an execute. It hits so hard and it goes through frontal block, and it's really, really nice. And it's pretty quick. That move is based off movement speed. So the faster movement speed you have, the higher movement speed, the more kills you can get. Here we end up getting bopped right there because my frontal guard broke, which made me stumble a little bit, and they were able to kill me through it. So basically, Sage all comes down to attack speed, casting speed, and basically attacking your enemies from the back when they're least expecting it. As long as you can do that, you should be good to go. You want to make sure that on a Tor's energy, you have attack and casting speed, and other than that, you should be pretty much good to go. I will be uploading a video later. I don't know if it's today that this bombs come out or it's tomorrow. I do believe that it's today. I think today's Wednesday. So we'll be doing a video about that later. That's going to be really exciting. I'm really excited for that. Actually, I think today's Tuesday, so tomorrow it'll be coming out. But what we're going to be doing later in the month also is for gains. I do plan on selling my Dawn because Sage doesn't really need accuracy because a lot of the moves already have the accuracy. So once I sell that Dawn, I will get another Disto, then we'll be at 288 AP. Then we're gonna either Caphras or get a Tungrad Ring and we'll be 289. Then if we can get 2 more AP from there, we will be 291, and then I can get a Tauros Belt and we'll be back to 289. And the Tauros Belt will help a lot on my Sork, and I'm sure it'll help I get super high evasion players on my Sage, even though Sage already has a lot of accuracy. But that's going to be about it for today's video. I hope the PvP commentary was able to help you guys out, understand how I play Sage a little bit, and hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two. If you guys have any tips or tricks for me, let me know. Leave them in the description down below. If you guys want to join the Discord, go ahead and join the Discord. It'll be in the description down below. You guys can go ahead and send me some messages in there. And also, if you guys are wanting to join my guild, iFrame, let me know and I can invite you to the guild. But that's going to be about it for today's video. I hope all of you guys have a great day today. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video. It's been your boy Slushy. Until next time, peace.